Okay.
Hello, my name is Stefanos Konandreas, and before me I have a fishing caster designed for Quadriplegics. It's actually an ASME student design competition, 2001. This is basically basic Snoopy fishing caster, which is embraced on a mechanical system and operates to mechanically cast and reel back this half-ounce bag of sand. And the complicated factor of this design was to integrate this whole mechanism with a mouthpiece. Since this fishing caster is designed for quadriplegics, this mouthpiece fits right into the mouth like this, with back straps which get supported on the back of the head. And there are 5 buttons which operate the 5 basic functions of the fishing caster. The first is to actually cock back the fishing rod, which can be seen right now. The second and the third is to release the mechanical gearbox in order to release the fishing caster and shoot it forward. And the fourth and the fifth buttons function to reel back the half-ounce bag, as can be seen right now. And the slower one in order to precisely raise the bag to the right height. And another integrated component of our system is a laser pointing device which accurately indicates where the half-ounce bag is going to land. And the farther back the fishing caster is reeled, the higher the laser pointer indicates, so as to accurately indicate where the bag will land. And that's it for now. The most complicated aspect of this design is the gearbox system, which basically is geared down to create enough torque to be able to pull back the fishing caster. And this is basically done by having the string attached to the fishing caster directly attached to the last axis in the gearbox mechanism. Now the gearbox mechanism is broken up into 2 components. Basically the whole gear mechanism attached to the motor, and the last gear attached to the axis on which the string is attached. And this is done so that when the fishing caster is placed in the desired position, the user can disengage the gearbox from the last gear by raising the gearbox system in this manner, which basically releases all the force from the last penultimate gear onto the last gear and enables the fishing caster axis to freely spin and shoot the caster. And an interesting aspect of this design is that the penultimate axis of the gearbox, which is this over here, is both used as the axis for the penultimate gear and as the pivoting point for the gearbox to pivot on. And the way in which the fishing caster actually disengages from the last gear is by a rotating bevel, which is directly mounted onto a gear, as can be seen over here. So when the user wants, he can basically activate this bevel, which rotates in this manner, raises the gearbox, and disengages it from this gear over here. And then when he wants, he can re-engage the gearbox mechanism by lowering the bevel and lowering the gearbox and re-engaging the last gear. And this aluminum bar is used to create the extra weight needed to engage the system. And also another interesting aspect of this design is this plate over here, which is used as the hitting surface of the bevel gear to raise it, and also functions as a stopping force of the gearbox, so that the penultimate gear and the last gear mesh correctly, so that the teeth do not get destroyed. Another few aspects of this fishing caster mechanism which I would like to emphasize is the dual spring/pulling mechanism, which is directly attached to the fishing caster rod, as you can see. And as the fishing caster is pulled back, a predetermined amount of potential energy is gathered up in the fishing caster springs, so that at any given position of the fishing caster angle, the half-ounce bag will shoot at a determined distance, which is correlated to the tension gathered up by the two springs. And another emphasis which I like to put is that the fishing caster itself is rotated 180 degrees, so that this 1/4-inch bolt can exert a certain amount of force on the releasing button of the fishing caster, so that the string of the fishing caster can be released. And the last thing which I like to emphasize is the aiming device, which is a laser pointer, and the actual pulling system of the laser device is attached to a string which is directly attached to the axis of the fishing caster, as you can see. And this correlation occurs by having the fishing caster go back, causing the half-ounce bag to shoot farther away, and as this occurs, the bevel pulls the string attached to the laser pointer, raising the laser pointer at a higher elevation, which is directly correlated to the destination of the half-ounce bag, where the half-ounce bag will land. So as it's being pulled back, the laser pointer lifts up and directly correlates to the destination point of the half-ounce bag. And that's it for the aiming device. And the last component is these rods placed over here, which enable the line of the fishing caster to smoothly bypass all the mechanical system by traveling across like this to this point and then reeling up, so that the fishing line does not get caught in any of the mechanical system. And that's it.